I love fish. Look at these mackerel.
You could stop at 5 or 6 stores, or just one.
There's an old curiosity shop. Every once in a while I go by there for the fond recollections that lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the front porch of the old curiosity shop, housed in the 1925 bungalow. I'm Scott. Before we begin, today's cup of coffee is brought to you by
A cup of coffee, a sandwich, and you. A cozy corner, a table for two.
That's right, you recognize the Modern Tone pattern manufactured by Hazel Atlas. Now I've got a complete set in what they called Ritz Blue. Yeah, that's in the house. This is their fired on platinite. And platinite is like a milk glass, almost. Fire King had it. It was called Vitrock, or Anchor Hocking called it Vitrock. But it's a milky glass. It's glass. And they could easily do the fired on colors, but in a very Art Deco modern tone pattern. And you can find these in pink and green and blue and yellow and different variations. I think there's even some out there maybe with Scotty dogs on them. But I want to thank the Vintage Vinny who found this and bought it for me for a couple of bucks at a thrift store a while ago, because he knows I collect various cups and saucers from that era. And this is one I don't have. Let's take a sip. That's very good. We'll put this right back here next to the little Philco radio. And my electric Emerson fan over here is doing a good job. I really don't need it today. We had a storm last night, and I didn't really know how bad it was until I got out driving, and limbs and things and all kinds of things down. But no damage, not really. Nice breeze today. Most of the humidity is gone and it's not too hot. Well, now that we're done with the weather forecast, we are going to have a show and tell today of salt and pepper shakers. Now you say, I don't want to see that. Well, all right, if you don't want to see it, don't watch. But listen, I've got salt and pepper shakers. I bet some of them you've never seen before. So stay tuned for a little bit, okay? It might surprise you. Now, I also want to tell you that there's a reason why I'm in my Road Hazard t-shirt. This is the day after my Monday Night Live sale. I did go and pick up my new oven or stove today. And a friend of mine met me there and drove my truck back. I, the entire time, was standing in the back of my truck at my stove singing A Cup of Coffee, a Sandwich, and You, while waving at everybody down the New Jersey Turnpike. And I wanted everybody to see me and my new stove. It's in the kitchen right now. I'm not showing it to you today because I've got to do some stuff to it, but wonderful. We'll talk about that stove later. If you didn't know, I have been stoveless for 8 months. Been okay. You can do a lot with an electric frying pan and a crock pot. But I'm going to be happy to have a stove for autumn season cooking and so forth. Now, thank you for coming to the live sale last night. It was fun. I stumbled upon a collection of salt and pepper shakers. I'm going to show them to you right now. A few of them I sold last night, so I got to get those packed up tomorrow morning. But let's take a look at everything, and just in no particular order. I bought all of these salt and pepper shakers. They were priced individually. So I picked out the ones that I thought were the most unusual, or the ones that I thought people would enjoy. And so we have these two little pups that were purchased last night. These are made in Japan, and they go back to, well, they do have their stickers on them. They are I'm not going to try to stumble through this. Enesco, Ukoko, you know all the names of the little Japanese import companies, Napco. But these little guys are cute, and they sold last night during my live sale. I guess I'll show you all of the ones that sold already, and then you can look forward to me selling more salt and pepper shakers as we go along. These really nifty 60s cats sold. All right, she lost her rhinestone, but the new owner will be able to put a rhinestone in there. Those are cute. Sold those last night. I have never seen such big carrots in my life, or salt and pepper shakers in my life, but there they are. They sold last night. I promise you, it's just like 2 more sets that sold last night, and then the rest of them are all going to be for sale coming up. I don't know when yet. Some might be in live sales, some might be online, so make sure you are subscribed to that old curiosity shop and you turn that bell on. I don't want you to miss anything. Look at these. I sold them last night too. Made in Japan. These are made after the war. Big old, gosh. You wouldn't need to refill these salt and pepper shakers until probably 2035. Okay, what am I going to do with you guys? Let's put you over there. Excuse me for just a minute. Now, I also, last night, sold this. And if the person who won this is watching, I haven't heard from you yet unless you wrote to me and something got messed up with the email address. But anyway, I can't invoice you yet for this, so try it again. If something went wrong, we'll try to get together. I'll hold on to this for a while. But look at the TV set with those little 1960s legs. I love that. And look what happens when you turn the knob. Whoop, they pop up. Isn't that cool? So you can just reach in there and pull out your little shakers. No damage. Can you imagine? This has survived. That's as old as I am. And I'm as old as 1967, and that's probably a little bit older than that, because as we get into the early 70s, these legs disappear. These big old 1960s legs. Right? You remember that kind of television set. The kind where we had to get up from our seat and change the channel. All right, let's keep going. All right, I offered these last night, but they didn't sell. I love how 1960s they are. And this little Dugan's Service and Appliance Center in Erie, Pennsylvania is still in business. They've been in business for 60 years, and I would bet every bit of the salt and pepper shaker collection that these go all the way back to around the time the store opened in the early 60s. Early to mid 60s. Yeah. So it's still in business in Erie, Pennsylvania. I believe that's where it is anyway. And nobody wanted these last night, so we're going to try them again some other time. I like them. Everything else I'm about to show you will be for sale 3 at a time, 6 at a time, over the next several weeks during the live sales. So 2 more kitty cats with little rhinestone eyeballs, and they're not missing their eyes. Little Siamese cats. These are all, you know, of the era, the 60s and so forth. These are funny. This says made in Japan again, and this is, you can see the little label on the bottom. I guess it kind of turned blurry there, but look at these. Pepper Tate and Salty O'Day. You can see the little poems on the front. I mean, these are cute, kind of strange. They're supposed to be tombstones, like what would be in a Western See the cactus back there? But it just says like it's a Washington, D.C. souvenir. Who knows? Look at these. These are marked Japan. And they're glass, and they sit down. They can turn any way you want them in there. You know, they can go that way, his and hers. They can both go this way. Glass on a little. Now don't you blow off? My curtains are. All right. Isn't that neat? We have this one, which is the little hot dog, salt and pepper, and his little hiney is on that side, and there's his face, and look at that, the other half. And these are brins, imported, you know, from Japan. So these will be for sale at some point. I love these little mid-century chef heads. Aren't these great? I got this whole collection. These I thought were new, but made to look retro, but they're not, because it's sort of like it was like a matte ceramic and then painted, but they actually do go back, because look at the old, my camera doesn't focus, the little stickers on the bottom, a genuine product of Japan. So these are from that era when that hairdo was in style. That hairdo, that big ponytail on the back of your head, and those poodles, and that scarf around your neck. Isn't that classic late 50s? I think so. There is no damage on these. Nobody's been decapitated, if you can believe that. I've got two fierce poodles. This one will need a rhinestone replacement. I love that. All right, we'll do the Christmas. Here are two 1950s Santa heads, one with a winking eye, and they can sit on a shelf and their little beards will hang over. Or they can just sit and they sort of tilt back a little bit, but they can go on a flat surface, or they can sort of hang over a shelf a little bit. We'll hang on to these until Christmas time. Isn't this fun? We'll hang on to these, which is Napco. We'll hang on to those until Christmas time. These again would be late 50s into the 60s. Yeah. All right. We did all of those. We're going to do these in a minute. This set here is the newest. These are actually made in Taiwan. And I can also tell, you can tell, even if that Taiwan wasn't on there, this is the newest set that I've got. And that even is still going to date to the 70s. So two Scotties, and then the third Scotty holds the toothpicks. So that's coming up. I have two bears. I guess that's what they are. The head looks like a fox, but that's the body of a bear. And these are Japan. These are old. These might even be back into the 30s. These might be pre-World War II. That little set. Yeah, they might be. Ooh, don't you fall over. Okay. Look at these copper with the owls. I'm going to be having a special autumn auction where a portion of it is dedicated to the owl. And I'm holding on to these until I do that sometime in September. You stay tuned. But I've got a whole bunch of owl related things. And look at that old copper. I love those. Don't you? I love fish. Look at these mackerel. Now I am stunned that there's not a chip on one fin, the tails, nothing. They are perfect, and it even says Mackerel on the bottom, and look at those old Japan stickers. They are in absolutely excellent condition. Now they both only have one hole in their head, so I don't know which one is salt and which one is pepper. But they're so lifelike. And how can they survive without being chipped? How did it happen? I don't know. These are cute. And these say imported by Giftware of Toronto, made in Japan, and it's two little, they're owls as well, aren't they? I just realized that. Yeah. And he either doesn't know how to play the banjo, or that's a broom or a upside down lollipop or something. I guess he's serenading her, and she is quite smitten, I guess. So we have those owls. These, I don't know what they are. You decide. Is she missing an eyeball? Poor thing. At first I thought scarecrows. Is it just the farmer and the nurse? I don't know. They're Lefton. That's that Lefton sticker from years ago. And they're farm people, whatever they are. She's got a broom. Well, they both have brooms. No, she has the broom, and he has the dustpan, I think. I'm not really sure what those two characters are supposed to be, but they're kind of neat. Here's an old-fashioned bicycle, a unicycle with the two wheels in the back. I don't know what you call this thing. And it has a little glass. This is plastic, but these are glass. The little shakers in here are made of glass. And they fit right down in there. I thought that was unusual and somewhat unique. Ooh. That has its original papers on the inside, so I think this is new and was never been used, because the papers tell you this is called Airco, and it's supposed to keep air out and guarantee that your salt won't cake, because there's nothing worse than caked up salt. But that's what that is. These are glass. So yeah, I love these. Now I've saved my three favorite for the very end. Look at this. It is the little restaurant style coffee pots. This is metal, and then look at the salt and pepper shakers are the little coffee pots. We'll pull them off of there. Look at the little burners. Isn't this the cutest thing? I absolutely love this. Right? That is really fantastic. This is something else that I think is fantastic, and it is made of plastic, and this is old. Look at the piano keyboard here, and the salt and the pepper, they hang. So if we turn it over, just a little bit of salt or pepper will fit in the notes. Now sadly, this one back here has lost its backing. You'll probably never find it, but that's the only one that really has damage to it. But this is great for a magician, a musician. Finally, I saved the best for last. These, I think, are rare. Now, it's not a salt and pepper shaker. That's a salt and pepper shaker in one. That's a salt and pepper shaker in one. I'm gonna sell the red one. You know I'm keeping this one. Now, they're made of hard plastic, and don't they look Art Deco? And the way that it works is one side is always open, right? And you squeeze and it will close one side and open the other. So I'm guessing that maybe the salt is always open, or maybe the pepper is always open. the salt might be closed so that it doesn't get moisture in it. But anyway, all you do is turn it upside down and, you know, out comes your pepper. Push, and only one of these little things will go in. I need to oil it. And then you can get your salt. Pepper is blocked off, and out comes the salt. Now, the reason I say I think these are rare is because I couldn't find any record of any of them having been sold anywhere at any time. Maybe you guys will find some somewhere that actually sold. I was able to research the patent number. Now it says on the bottom, the Richter Shaker Company, R-I-C-H-T-E-R. It was very hard finding anything on the Richter Shaker Company. But when I researched the patent number, I was able to come up with the original patent. Let's take a look at that now. Okay, so there you go, patented in the late 1930s, and because it's so hard to find anything about these, I don't think that it went over very well with the public. I suppose not, but it's great to have two of these, and both of them have their corks in the bottom, and you know, all of that information down here. So I don't know, I'm sure that they're not worth too much money, but the red one is probably for sale. But that green deco one, I gotta hold on to that. Yeah, I've gotta hold on to that. Well, anyway, that was a lot of fun. Which set of salt and pepper shakers were your favorite? Do you remember any of these from your childhood? And remember, they will all, the ones that haven't already sold, be up for sale, you know, in the next 2-3 weeks, whatever, on during the live sales and this and that. So you stay tuned to the Old Curiosity Shop, and you can salt and pepper your bacon and eggs the old-fashioned way. Well, that's it for now. I want to thank you for watching. Have yourselves a great afternoon. I'll see you next time. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop. Wait for the cat. And so long for now.